Hey, welcome back everyone. This video, I wanted to do a video on mixing epoxy. And the reason why I'm saying mixing epoxy is just because I know I've done some videos here and there on doing thread finish and stuff, but I've never really got in depth. And I've seen some people talking about mixing it, how to mix it. I get questions every now and then, so I kind of wanted to go over basically a breakdown on how I mix it and how I get it, maybe help you guys get it to be more accurate and what's going on. So first thing, I'm not sponsored by anybody. Just want to get that out of the way because everybody wants to throw their little 2 cents in there. This one is Flex Coat. This is the light version. This one is a little bit different than what I normally use. I usually use high build. They didn't have it in stock and I needed some more pretty quick, so I went with this one. I just don't like having to do multiple coats just because of time and stuff. So this one I'm gonna have to do a little bit extra, but it's all right. Anyways, the biggest thing is the viscosity. Now this one is going to be a little bit thinner than like your high builds, obviously. So you're going to have about 3 different ones. This one won't be as noticeable, but you're still going to have a little bit of a difference when you're mixing it. So these are equal parts. You're going to have, once you put it in there, you're going to notice right off the bat, if you do just a couple drops, you're going to notice that it just makes like a dime puddle. And then it'll slowly flatten out. That is where you run into problems. So you want to be as accurate as possible. I use the little cups. It starts off, the first line is 2.5 mils. Now they recommend that you go 5 mils. And the reason for that is just so the smaller amount you try to do, it's a little bit harder to get it as accurate. So the more you mix, the more accurate you can be. That's why they say that. And I've told people to go 5 on each just because of that. Now, when I do a rod, I can do 2.5 of each, which will allow me to do a whole rod. And you still will have just a little bit left over. Now, if I'm gonna do like the marbling in between the split grips plus everything else, I may go up to 5, but it just depends on what stage I'm at. Starting off doing it, even on doing the marbling itself, I'll do 2.5, and I can usually get enough to do that. But like I say, starting out, I would do 5 as well. So when you're mixing it, you want to mix it up to the line of 2.5 or 5, and then progress on your next part, the same thing. You want to just touch the line. And the most picky that you can be on yourself and watching it, just take your time, the more accurate it's going to be. And what I always do is I go below the line. I say I go about halfway to where I'm wanting to go. And once it settles out, I'm doing just like a drop or 2 at a time. And then once it gets right there, close to it, I'll just do like a drop and I'll just wait. Like I say, the high build, it's definitely going to take longer. So take your time, stick it in there and just wait, and it'll make its way to the edge and come up to your line. Because a lot of times what you're doing is you're mixing it in there and you get it to where you want, and then you're getting ready to go mix it. Well, by the time you wait 15-20 seconds, it's above the line. So you're way off. And one of the things that it'll tell you once you get down to the bottom is how accurate you are on the same level of each bottle. And you can kind of keep an eye every time you do it, just kind of look at it, and you'll know, that you're doing good. Obviously I use the mixer. You just want to keep the bubbles out. So if you do mix it by hand, just go really slow and keep it even. Of course, the mixer works pretty good. You can let it mix. You want to mix it for about 2 minutes is what I normally do. And then I pour it out on a piece of tin foil and let it flatten out, and you're good to go. And then also a good thing to do for doing that is put your brush in there and then just kind of squish it in there. And that way it kind of gets all the bubbles out of your brush, because you're going to have air pockets in your brush. And that should help with that as well. So hopefully, I was going to show you all in the cup, but I really think that's going to be pretty difficult because of the clarity of the plastic and trying to show y'all. But the biggest thing is just to be patient. Give it time to level out. That'll be the biggest thing. And like I say, the most accurate you can be, the better it'll turn out, no matter which one you got. That's all I got. So like I say, have some fun and go catch some fish. See ya.